Okay, hi everybody, it's me, Bonkai922. Hell Paradise! um, Season 2, Episode 3. This one was called Immutability. Weird word to say. And Change. So, this episode basically was from two sides. One side we got Gabimaru and everybody else convening. There's May trying to get her back to normal, which is very difficult. And then we have, like I said, Gabimaru. He's training with everybody. His Tao. And while this is happening, the guy who's just like the Bakugo guy of the series, of course I'm talking about Chobei Aza. He encounters Rien, one of the Tenzin. It doesn't go well. No. He thinks he killed him. No. That was a clone. So he gets captured. And we get the nearly, well, we get the gist of what's going on here. The Tenzin are trying to perfect the immortality fluid, serum, whatever you want to call it, elixir. It hasn't been actually done. The whole process is very simple. They use human lives to create it because they call it tan. And during this episode, this guy Chobei, he's with Rien, and she turns into a woman. Okay, now they're doing the nasty. Basically, but it's more along the lines of merging. I think it's very confusing with his Tao. So while that's going on, Gardener's training. He's finding the guys to train him, and he's like depending on their moves. He's using Tao, and he's very good at it. We do get a very sad, somber moment. Basically, what ends on happening is May isn't looking too well. She has grown in size. She's like a teenager, and apparently her one of her arms is wood. So she's dying. The guy who was with her this entire time, the guy that looks like a tree, whose name is not listed, and I can't find his name. Of course. Anyway, he explains to everyone there, oh, that's a Huko. So Huko explains to everybody there that he used to have a child, a daughter, and a wife. They got turned to trees, and then he treated her as a daughter and everything in between. And basically, he decides to use his Tao to save her, to save May. And there's a somber moment, they're crying, but basically he dies. Using his Tao to save her, and he dies. And it's a real tearjerker moment. This is pretty sad. And she even at the end calls him father. And it was really, it was a really sad moment. Very sad. She was crying and everything. Now, that's not the end of the episode, though. If you guys remember at episode, I think it was 1, we noticed that there were certain characters going back to the island. One of them is unforgettable named. Well, the one who comes back. He comes back with Isuzu Yamada. I'm also talking about Jika Yamada. And we have also Shugen Yamada. Now, they show up with a bunch of dudes behind them. The guys that are behind them wearing masks, those guys are from Gabimaru's village. So shit's about to get real here. So not only do we have to deal with Tenzin, we now have to deal with this force of Moriyamadas and his clan. So it's going to get really heavy. But especially the episode, so really it was a two-sided way. Gabimaru, then Chobei, and the whole explanation about the elixir. Though there is an elixir, it's just it hasn't been perfected yet. Because they basically need humans. And I didn't want to bring this up, but we also find out that there was an original guy who did this. This guy, I think his name was Shufei. He created the album. He basically took animals and humans and mixed them up and all this other stuff. And certain people had certain roles and so on and so forth. But he's the whole progenitor, you could say, of the island. So, but that's basically the story of this episode. So, it was a lot of exposition. The fight with Chubei and that guy was not even a fight. I really enjoyed the training regimen with Gabimaru. Pretty interesting. He gets to see the Tao and everything, and he's really powerful, and he's able to fend off everyone's attacks. So, and then also Gabimaru and that other guy have formed a collective unit of what their next move needs to be. So, but the end of the episode obviously has these guys showing up. This is going to get hard and heavy. Yeah, this is going to get really heavy with what is going to be done, because at this point, with the Tenzin and all these guys showing up, now, Gabimaru is firm on this. He's not leaving without the elixir. Because, from his understanding, with his memories and everything, Yui, his wife, is still alive. Now, overall rating, I think I'm going to give this an 8.5 out of 10. Like I said, short fight, not very long, with Chobei and Tenzin. But, yeah, a lot of exposition. But a good exposition. So, 8.5 out of 10. Pretty good. But that's all I got for you guys. Really nothing to add really here with Hell Paradise for this episode. Next week, I'm guessing we're going to get that group coming in. It's going to get crazy. You said how many people there? A lot. So, it's going to be very interesting. This is Mark 922. Catch you guys later.